All right, minute 16. This is the podcast where we break down the most nip. All right, what was it?
Debonair.
All right, this is minute 16. I'm Brian.
And I'm Christian.
And this is the podcast that takes the longest running, most debonair, suave spy franchise and shakes out 1 minute at a time, never stirred. Because this is Bond. Minute Bond. And Christian, what happened in this minute?
What happened in this minute?
What happened in this minute, Christian?
James.
Tell me quick before we gotta go milk the pigs.
James is gonna go in this other room, and then he was like, "Wait, I think I hear something." And then he took off his shoes and silently went in the other room, and was like, "Bah, bitch, I got you." And then it was a hot, sexy bitch, and things go down.
Yeah, it's weird because he was just going over to, I assume, his bedroom, maybe to, pack, and he just notices something's off and takes his shoes off. I think he notices the light after he inspects that the light's on in this room. And he takes his shoes off to be stealthy, of course. And we get this nice little music cue as he busts the door open that sounds like a gunshot, just a little bit.
Yeah. I almost actually thought he fired his gun.
Oh, nice. I think
it really sounded like a gunshot, and then there was no reaction to it or anything, so I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess it wasn't a real gunshot." They just cued it.
Yeah, but it's smart.
She's wearing like a robe or something.
She's wearing his shirt, I think.
Oh yeah, okay. And you can that's all she's wearing. It looks like, so you can see her legs. She's looking real sexy, and he's clever. He's like, "Oh, do you always dress this way for golf?"
And also him busting in like that. First, she never references the gun, but
because she ain't afraid of no gun.
Guns are like ghosts. She ain't afraid of neither. And she says, "Now you've done it. Now you've made me miss." And I went to my digital copy to see the subtitles. I don't understand. It doesn't even have the subtitles for what he says after, "How did you get in?" Something. But
that's funny.
Anyway, she says, "Now you've done it. You made me miss." And he says, "You don't miss a thing." Which that's not. When you dissect it, that's not a clever response. It means nothing. But then he says, "What are you doing here?" She says, "Accepting your invitation."
Accepting your invitation. And then he said, "You did the right thing, but it's not the right time.
Yeah.
I gotta go right meow."
Right meow. But I like that she's like, "Have I done something wrong?" And it's interesting she's because...
Like, "Oh, that's too bad you gotta go because I was gonna give you a BJ."
Okay, but I found a continuity error. When he says he has to leave immediately, he grabs her the golf club, and then it cuts to her being at the top of it. So I'm imagining either that's just a continuity error, or they cut out a moment where he grabs lower on the golf club, and she goes like this, and he goes like this, and she goes like this. So I could totally imagine the shot where she's looking back at him if his hand is lower. It's around the 52-second mark where that cut happens, where he grabs a little lower. I could see her right arm moves. They definitely cut out a moment of her putting her hand higher up on the golf club.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
And it's not like it was some kitschy game where there's enough room for them to do it like, They just cut out her actually like grabbing it at the top. So I don't know if they just wanted to cut out like a woman kind of disobeying Bond or flying in the face on him. But really, his question of how did she get in there is very valid. I thought maybe he said that he didn't tell anyone he was there. So maybe it's not a flat. I don't know. The fact that she could...
So I think it's possible that that scene might have been too sexy for audiences. If that's what they did, maybe they had to cut it out. Because you can clearly see that her hand was down here and then it was up here.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Yeah, literally right before the cut, you can see her right hand moving just a little bit because she's gonna grab the top of the golf club before her next line, but but the question of how she got in there is valid and never answered. Like, that's a big red flag. But it ends with her saying, "Oh, that's too bad," just as things were getting interesting again, and she leans in and cut. We don't know what happens. I didn't see what happens in the seconds after when I went to go to my digital copy to see what the subtitles were. Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, let's find out.
Alright, that's the end of minute 16.
My name is Christian.
My name is Brian.
And that was money.
Every penny of it. That was creepy.